Hello, this is Andrea Hess, and we are all still here. There was no apocalypse, no fiery meteors showered the earth, no cataclysmic events totally eradicated humanity. My personal theory remains that the Mayans just got tired of chiseling one day and then, they went about inventing the margarita or something. But the idea that the world would end really did get me thinking about karma, that relentless system of choice followed by consequence. Karma is this 24/7 non-stop process. We can't get out of the creative process. Every choice has a consequence. We can't even choose to do nothing because even that is a choice with a consequence. But can you imagine what would have happened if we'd been absolutely certain, without a shadow of a doubt, that the world was in fact going to end on, a lovely Friday in December? I doubt most of us would have shown up to work for the last 6 months. We would have probably flocked to beaches and mountains and beautiful places on our planet, spent whatever money was in our savings accounts, and just indulged in a lot of, unhealthy foods. Personally, I probably would have eaten, nothing but bread, pasta, and cake. So we would have surrounded ourselves with the people that we truly want to be with, and we would have done only what we really wanted to do. So if the end of the world were guaranteed, our choices would have had no consequences, right? We would have stopped worrying about what other people think. We would have had absolutely no responsibilities beyond just, staying alive for the next few weeks or even days. And we probably would have allowed ourselves to do what was really authentic to us, which sounds lovely, right? What would you do if there were no consequences to your choices for the next few days? Except, of course, if the world were indeed to end, all this lack of consequences would bring our society to a screeching halt too, right? No one would show up to work, which means our grocery stores would be empty, restaurants would close, no one would be making that pasta or baking that bread or that cake, right? In fact, garbage would just collect in the streets and the rules of our society would disintegrate into total chaos. The rules of karma, of choice and consequence, keep us from self-destruction. But karma can also keep us in limitation. It all depends on how you handle the system of karma. And this is really the gift of imagining the end of the world. There's really two ways we can make choices. We can make choices to avoid unwanted consequences, or we can make choices to create desired consequences. Both sets of choices can look exactly the same from the outside, but the intent behind these choices is vastly different. And so the consequences are also vastly different. So we can choose to go to work every day because we don't want to lose our home, because we don't want, our parents to think we're a slacker, because we don't want to disappoint our children or our spouse. And in our own business, we can make choices that keep us from losing clients. We can write so we don't lose people from our list. We can water down our marketing message so that we don't, piss people off and have them unsubscribe. Or we can choose to go to work every day because we want to create the home of our dreams, because we feel fulfilled as we express our brilliance, because we want our children to live abundantly, because we want to support our spouse. We can choose to market ourselves authentically in order to attract our ideal clients. We can choose to make offers and structure our business so that we have the most fun while we do our soul's purpose. One set of choices creates a prison of our own making. The other set of choices creates heaven on earth. But from the outside, they look exactly the same. So imagine for a moment that you only have a few days left on this planet. What would you immediately stop doing, and why? So what choices are you currently making only because you fear negative consequences? So what are you creating from fear? And what choices would you immediately start making if you only had a few days left in this human form? Because it's what you really want to do. So what would you create from love? Love for your soul's self-expression within this human form. So here's the thing, choices made from fear, they create more fear. And then our life contracts. It becomes more and more limited. We do this to ourselves through the quality of our choices. Choices made from love create more love, and we end up feeling limitless and expansive because we know we can create what we want. Now, the polarity between these two is becoming more and more apparent as we move into 2013. And whether we create from fear or love, that is completely up to us. We are always the all-powerful creators of our human experience. So ask yourself, how much are you creating from fear? And how much are you creating from love? And what would it look like to make more of those choices in order to create your desired consequences versus making choices from fear in order to avoid negative consequences? Which operating system you use at the end of the day is completely up to you. You get to choose whether you make your experience a prison or you turn it into heaven on earth. So this is what I wanted to talk about as we move into the new year, because the difference between the two is going to become more and more dramatic. This is Andrea Hess. Thank you so much for watching.